Hi everyone and welcome to episode 14 of the These Little Hands podcast. My name is Millicent and I'm coming to you from South Africa, and this is a podcast about knitting and sewing, sometimes other crafty things, and I also share some general interest things with you. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I see we have a lot of new subscribers and I really appreciate it, and it's so nice to be able to share all of my crafty adventures with you. And to anybody who's new, thank you for checking out my podcast and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's talk about knitting. So, those of you who've watched before know that I'm not a monogamous knitter at all, but the girls from the Legacy Knit podcast is hosting a Cal together with Marsha from the Twitch and Stitch podcast and the Lone Larch podcast. So those three podcasts together are hosting a project whip, which means you try and clear all your needles by the 1st of January so that you have clean needles for the new year, which I thought was a very good incentive for me because I tend to start new projects quite often. And then also Devin from Francophile Knits is also hosting an NGO whip down. So I'm participating in those and I've been knitting feverishly. So I'm at the moment on holiday, the schools are closed. I finished work for the year on Thursday and it's about 5 or 6 days before Christmas. So we'll see if I get all of this done, but I'm going to go through that with you. But before I do, I have one very almost completed project. I just need to find the right buttons. I thought I had buttons that go with it, but I don't. So this is my regatta cardigan that I've been knitting on. And this is the yarn I got from when I visited the Natural Yarn Studio in Komiki in August this year. And this is Nurturing Fibers Eco Cotton Double Knit, and this is the Shipwreck colorway, and the purple is a once off colorway, so it doesn't have a name, and I believe this one is Seashell, but I might be mistaken. Yes, so it is complete. I must say I'm not very happy with the neatness of my buttonholes. It's something that I definitely will have to work on, because you see like that one, so I will have to fix it a little bit with my sewing needles, but I really like it. The original pattern has a knitted collar that folds over, which I omitted, and a lot of people on the Ravelry pages also omitted that. So the idea is to have a cropped cardigan, so the buttons will go there. Yes, so the fit is actually quite perfect, but I did measure it as I went. It's knit in pieces, and the designer is Martin Storing, which is one of my favorite designers. So it is from the Rowan book, number 41, and the original version has more of a sailor look. It is a navy and white with a red trim. There we go. So that white collar is actually knitted on, and that is what I omitted. So yes, I knitted a little bit shorter than the pattern shows, because I want to wear it with my dresses, and the high waist works better with my dresses. Yes, I'm happy with that, and that is almost complete. Hopefully I can find some buttons today and then it will be done. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you all my whips, except for one, because that one I am considering frogging, and I'll share it at some point and let you guys help me decide. But I don't know if I should be proud or embarrassed to say that I think I have 6 whips on the go. So I have my work cut out for me if I want it to be finished by the end of the year, which is basically 10 days. But we'll see. I have some time off, so we'll see. Okay, so let me start with the first one. 3 actually is out of the same book. So this is the Rowan magazine number 58. This book has beautiful patterns in it. And the first one is actually the one on the cover, which is the Windy Scarf. And I believe it's also by Martin Story. Yes. So I started this at the beginning of the year. And I got up to there where my progress keeper is. So this is how much I've done in the over the weekend. Considering that I've been knitting on all my things, I think it went quite quickly. So you just repeat this pattern. I think I'm about halfway, maybe a little bit less than halfway. But I'm knitting this on the same needles. This is actually my this on the suggested needle size. This is I wanted to show you, where's the other one now? This is Chiago needles, straight needles. They're so pretty. So I still prefer straight needles, although I'm much more comfortable with circular needles. I still prefer, if I have the option, to rather knit on straight needles. So this is going really well. I must say, this is the least enjoyable of all my projects. So I have to force myself a little bit because it's quite repetitive. But the rows are short and yeah, so I'm just pushing through. But if one doesn't get finished before the end of the year, it will probably be this one. But that is my Windy Scarf. And the next project is one that I shared on Instagram recently. So I bought the yarn on sale quite a while ago without a pattern in mind. But this is the Rowan cocoon yarn. It is a bulky yarn and it is 80% wool and 20% mohair. And I've knit a project out of this yarn before and I loved it. And then I washed it and then the yarn just bloomed and became even more beautiful. I think this is probably my favorite yarn that I've ever knit with. It's so soft and luxurious, and after you washed it, it's just so beautiful. So I got this color on sale, and then when I wanted, because I want to minimize my stash as well, and I went through my books and I came across this pattern, which is a pattern that I've wanted to knit. It's why I bought the book as well. So the pattern is called Crisp, and it is by Gemma Atkinson. Not a familiar designer for me. It's the first time I'm knitting a pattern of hers. And this is flying off the needles. So I'm on the back, and this is where I am. Look at that beautiful texture. So I just started decreasing the armholes. You will see that it looks a little bit, it looks quite small, but the previous one I knit on the suggested needle sizes, and it grew quite a bit when I washed it. So I'm hoping, this is, it will be fitted if I keep it this size, so it will be fine if it doesn't grow. But if it grows, it will also be okay, because the other one is a little bit too big for me after it grew so much. And I also went down half a needle size, so it calls for a 7mm needle, and I'm using a 6.5. Yeah, but it's really pretty. I must say it's not. It doesn't fly off the needles just because of the pattern, but because it's bulky, it still goes quickly, because I think at the moment there's only 51 stitches on the needles. So that's really, if you've been knitting shawls all year like me, the short rows is really great. So yeah, so I have enough of this yarn for this pattern, and Today is the designated day for this one that I'm knitting on. So I will probably finish the back today, possibly start with the front. I'm not putting in any shaping, I'm just knitting it exactly as the pattern instructs. But I really like it and I can't wait to wear it in the winter. This is also a project bag I made myself. Okay, and then the last one is also out of this book. So this was a project. The original project was a crochet sort of coat that I started. I can't recall when. I think it was early in this year. Sorry, I just want to find this one. Okay, so this was the project. It's a crochet jacket, which I still really love. And I crocheted the whole thing. I think I did talk about this on the podcast. And then when I put it together, I just didn't like the fit on me. And I decided to rip it out. But now I still have all of that yarn because I bought the yarn for that crochet. So I ripped it out and started knitting this basic cardigan. This is a pattern by Mari Wallen. It's called the Enya cardigan. And I have completed the back. And I have completed the left front. And I am there with the right front. I'm a little bit concerned that I'm not going to have enough yarn. I thought I would definitely have enough yarn, but I might not have enough yarn. And if I don't, I'm not going to buy more. I'm going to make it a sleeveless cardigan. I think it will still look good with my wardrobe, and you can definitely modernize it with depending on what you wear. So then I'm just going to do a little sort of cap sleeve or something if I don't have enough yarn. I'm knitting these on my Knit Pro Zinc straight needles on 4mm needles. It is the needles that the pattern suggested. So the colors I'm using is a purple, and you hold two strands together. So it's the purple and the pink, and the orange and the purple, and then the green. So this is the Rowan tweed yarn. This is what it looks like. It's really nice yarn to work with. It does break easily. It's 100% wool and it's made in England. Yeah. So that's that one. I definitely think this one will be finished as well because it really flies off the needles. And I had so many pieces that I had to rip out with the crochet and so many ends. So what I did is I just magic knot the yarn. I hope I'm not going to be sorry, but I don't think so. It's quite sturdy, and because the yarn is tweedish, you can't see the knots. And even if you can see them, it just looks like part of the tweed. So yes, I'm not convinced about the colors, but I think it would go with my winter wardrobe and brown boots and so on. So we'll see. The orange is not so, the contrast is not as stark as it's coming up on screen. It's a little bit more, it blends in a little bit better. Okay, so that is those three out of this book. Probably one of my favorite Rowan books that I own. Okay, so the next one, that's 3 down, I think. The next one, let me see where I am, is a shawl. Now this shawl I am completely in love with. This is the Shima shawl. That is what it looks like. I saw this on the Fawn and the Fox podcast. She knit one at some point. I don't have a bigger, different picture to show you, unfortunately. Okay, and this is what it looks like. I don't know green doesn't photograph well. It's a lot more green than it's showing up. It's almost the same color as these stitch markers. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, yes, this is my Shima shawl. I am almost done with the second part, and then I will be on the fourth part. And I'm using 3 different green yarns. Oh, this is really not showing up true to color. It's really green. Like this one is grass green. Yeah. I don't know what it is with green and the light, because when I try to take pictures of it, it also doesn't work. So all of these are Heartlam yarns. So this one is called Protea Leaf, and it is on the Franschhoek sock base, which is 50% merino and 50% silk. So it has a bit of a shine to it, which is really nice. Then the other 2 are both on the Tilbach sock. And now I can't remember which one is which one. One is called Plainsman and one is called Woodland Walk. And this is a merino, cashmere and nylon blend, the Tilbach sock. So this one is a light green with a little bit of yellow and neutral in. And this one is green with dark colors in. Let me see if I hold this closer if you can see the green. No. Oh man, that's unfortunate. I love it. It is green, green, green. Yeah, it doesn't show off as nicely as it really is. Anyway, so the rows are getting quite long. So on the last part, the rows are gonna be very long. But it's a very easy knit, and you can just go and go and go and go. So I think of all the ones I'm knitting, this one is my favorite at the moment. So that is my Shima shawl. Then I feel like I'm missing one project. Okay, then I have a shawl that I showed you last week. It's my Marrakesh shawl. And this one is also almost complete. There we go. I'm going to be lying to you if I try. Let me see if I can remember the color. So the neutral color is just the vanilla by Nurturing Fibers on the Super Twist sock base. The pink is Stellar Fiberworks, which is a local South African dyer and the owner of the Natural Yarns online store. This is on the Vital sock base and it's called You Are My Candy Girl. And then this one, I can't remember the name, but it's green with specks of purple and pink, and it's also on the Vital sock base, also Stellar Fiberworks. So on this one, I only have 3 more stripes to go, and then I'm adding the last lace piece, and then it's done. So this one is very close to finish. And then the last one on my needles is, where did I put it now? Let me just, oh, it's just out of reach. So this one is one that I also really love. It's from this book, and it's the book, it's the pattern on the cover. Barbican is the pattern name, and it's by Martin Story. And this is also yarn I got on the same sale as I got the Rowan Cocoon yarn. And it is Nurturing Fibers double knit. Let me see if I have a band here. So now I can't remember anything. Okay, I can't remember the color name. My apologies. But I finished the back. I'm not sure which is the right side now. This is the right side. So I finished the back and I love it. Oh, there we go. There I have a little elephant progress keeper on there. Okay, so I finished the back. This is really flying off the needles. The only thing I changed is I put in waist shaping. The pattern doesn't call for waist shaping. And how I did it is I didn't put it on the edges. I put it there, you can see. I put it there. So how I worked it out is that I just decreased 10 stitches in and I put the decreases there on each side. So this is the back. But I listened to Stitch in Sweden, the podcast, to Maria Monska, and she has a way of calculating it. So she takes a quarter of the stitches and then a quarter in she does the decreases for the back. So I will probably do that next time, but this was now the first time I did this. But I like the shape and I think it will definitely help the fit. So on the front, I'm almost at the part where I have to do the decreases now. I'll be knitting on this one tomorrow. I'm going to do it a third in. So I'm going to take the total number of stitches divided by 3 and then put it in there. And then you measure, you take your gauge and then you measure how many decreases you want and up to where. So I'm decreasing up to just before the arm hole decreases. And then for this, the yarn is a little bit heavier than the suggested double knit yarn. So I went down a needle size on this pattern as well. But I got gauge when I went down a needle size. Yes, so this one is a very easy knit, and this will also definitely be finished. So that is that. And I think that is the last of my work. So I have my work cut out for me, but I'm really enjoying it and I'm looking forward to having new projects because there's definitely 2 sweaters that I have yarn for that I want to cast on, but I have to finish these first. And then I have quite a few plans for the new year, but it will be great to have empty project bags for that. Okay, so let's talk about sewing. The first thing I want to show you is the one that I'm wearing. So I got this fabric as a gift from the same friend who gave me the African fabric that I made, the wrap skirt that I showed about 3 episodes ago. So this is not a pattern, it is self-drafted. I have a bodice block and I just use that same block. And I tried on a similar shirt at Zara the other day and then I just thought I can make it myself. Okay, so basically it is finished off with bias binding around the neck and around the arms, and then it has 2 little frills there. It's just straight and a little bit curved on the side. I'm sorry, I've been wearing it today, so it's a little bit wrinkled. And then at the back it has a keyhole with a bow. Yeah, I really like the way it turned out and I'm happy that it's finished. Yes, so that is what I've been doing. And then I have 2 projects that was in my closet for a long time unfinished. And this was before I did my sewing classes. This past year I've been attending weekly sewing classes, so my skill has significantly improved from the sort of self-help skill. So I'm just going to show you. I will post some pictures at some point that just need to be washed. And I don't know what the patterns were. If I can find the patterns, I will put them in the show notes, which you can find in the Ravelry group, and all the information is below this video. I keep forgetting to say that, but all the patterns, all the podcasts are below this video, and you can ask me questions here or in the Ravelry group. So this is the dress. I made this, it must have been about 2 years ago. And last night I added the buttons. The buttons are really pretty, they're little flowers. So yes, this fabric here is a little bit sheer and then it just has a full skirt and a collar. So why I mentioned my skill is I can see, like, I had to fix the collar this morning because it was not very neat. So what I did is I had this color bias binding and I just put it all the way around on the inside, because if you wear it, you're definitely going to see the collar here. So I did that, which is maybe a trick that you can use if you have that same problem, because when I made this, I definitely didn't have the skill that I had now. So there's small little mistakes on here that I can see now, but it will still do, and I think I'll still wear it. So at the back, it has that insert, and then just again with the full skirt. So I'm looking forward to going to wear this. It needs to be washed because it's been stashed for so long. But yes, I finished this morning. And then there's actually two more, but the other one I haven't finished yet. One more that was in my stash. This is definitely a vintage pattern. I can't remember what, but it was also finished. The fit on this is not 100%, but I think I can still wear it. It's a little bit low when I wear it. So it has this very large collar, and you see here, I don't know what I did there. Clearly didn't understand what you have to do with the facing, because see, the facing is ironed onto the dress and not onto this piece, which is actually quite funny if you think about it now. But yeah, so it has quite a wide collar, but as you can see, it comes pretty low, so I have to wear something underneath it. And then it just has a full skirt. But this fabric is beautiful, and it has grown on sleeves. So the sleeves are just like that. There's not much else I can say about this pattern, except that you learn. No, it doesn't have pockets. So the buttons are really cool. I got these pink buttons which matched. Yeah, I will have to I need to buy a camisole to wear underneath it because it is quite low. But I think it's really pretty and I think I can wear it. I think I might have to stitch this down or something. Anyway, but so you learn. And as you can see, the outside finishing is really neat. Most of it. There is a few mistakes here and there, like you can see where this button is. You can see I didn't stitch it very neatly there. But I don't think it matters, and I think I can still use it as is. And I did a blind hem stitch. Can you see? It's supposed to be on the edge, which is what I know now. I clearly didn't know it then. Yeah, so this is what I have been doing, but I have a lot of sewing plans. One of my big plans is the bra making. It is quite difficult and I want to spend the holiday to figure it out now that I have time to do it. I'm only going back to work on the 9th of January, so I'm looking forward. Okay, then the other sewing thing I would like to talk to you about is I am not going to continue with my sewing classes next year. Not because I don't want to, but I'm doing an online course and lots of things, so my schedule doesn't allow me to do that again for the next year. Maybe I'll join later in the year, but for the moment I'm not able to do it. And then I was watching a sewing vlog called Little Miss Lorraine, and she spoke about a project that is initiated by Alex from Bluebird Fabrics, and it is to create awareness about the slow fashion movement. And before I talk about something I don't know, let me just read it to you. So Alex from Bluebird Fabrics is starting her own arm of the slow fashion movement aimed at raising awareness about the pitfalls of fast fashion and to get more people on the sewing bandwagon and realizing their potential. So I was very interested and I followed the link and I joined. So the idea is that we all make the same pattern every month. So which at the end of the year you will have 12 patterns. I'm quite impressed with the pattern selection that they have, and they're all quite easy patterns, and what I'm looking forward to is it's mostly indie pattern designers. And so I signed up. The sign-ups are closed now, but I mean that still doesn't stop you from purchasing the pattern individually and joining in. But it's going to expose me to indie pattern designers. I'm always a little bit nervous. I'm not confident about the PDF sewing patterns and all of that. But yes, so I am signed up and I got my first 3 patterns, which was the 3 patterns you saw on the intro of this piece, on the sewing intro. So the first one that we're going to do for January is the Toaster Sweater version 2 from Sew House 7. So it's just a sweater top. It looks fairly simple. Yes, so I'm looking forward to this. So we have a cardigan, we have this, a cardigan and leggings coming up for January, February and March. And it's, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And then the hashtag is #SewMyStyle. So I'm really looking forward to joining in with this. And hopefully it will give me a little bit of sewing time. I want to be diligent by still sewing every week, even though I don't have the formal class. Hopefully I will be able to maintain that going forward. That is it for sewing today. Yes, that is it for sewing today. I went on a fabric tour with one of my friends, and I will insert a few pictures with the outro here. And I will probably be back. I'm planning to be back next week with another video, and then I will show you some of my favorite things as well. For today, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Happy knitting, happy sewing. Please join the Ravelry group and please subscribe to the video. If you have any questions for me, you can ask me on Instagram or on Ravelry or below this video. And I will see you after Christmas. Bye!